Good morning, friends, and today's topic is the types of insect legs. Usually in thorax, three segments are present: prothorax, mesothorax, and metathorax. Each thoracic segment bears a pair of legs. Each leg is five segmented, consisting of coxa, trochanter, femur, tibia, and tarsus. The coxa is the first proximal and basal segment which is attached to the thorax and it is mobile. The second segment is the trochanter, which is small. Sometimes it seems to be two segmented in dragonflies, damselflies, ichneumoniid wasps. And this second segment is called as the trochantellus, which is usually a part of femur. And the third segment is the femur, which is the largest, stoutest, and strongest of the leg. And it is attached to the trochanter. And the fourth segment is called as the tibia, and this is the long structure of the leg, and on its ventral surface it bears our spines, and at the apex of the tibia spurs are present which are useful for gripping against the substratum. And the fifth segment is called as the tarsus. Usually tarsus consists of segments which are called as tarsomeres. They are usually 1 to 5 in number. The first basal segment is called as the basitarsus, which is larger than the remaining tarsomeres. Beyond the tarsus, there are several structures collectively known as pretarsus. This is the pretarsus. This pretarsus is also called as insect foot. In this, a cushion-like or pad-like structure is present. This is called as pulvi, which ends with the claw-like structure, which ends with the claw. These together are called as pretarsus. In some insects, the pretarsus ends with the lobe-like structure in between the claws. This lobe-like structure is called as the aerolium, which is present in Orthopterans grasshopper. And in between the claws is a plate-like structure called as anguitractor, and these claws are also called as anguius. And in some insects of dipterans, in between the claws is a bristle-like structure known as embodium. And the tip to remember is bed, B for bristle-like, E for embodium, and D for diptera. So now we'll see the different leg modifications which are present in different insects. In grasshopper, the forelegs and middle legs are modified into ambulatory legs, and which is used for walking. And the hind legs are modified into saltatorial, which are useful for jumping. Here we can see in the front legs and middle legs, the femur and tibia are elongated. And in the hind leg, the femur is fused with the trochanter, and in the tibia, it bears a row of spines in the ventral region. It is heavily sclerotized and rigid. At the end of the tibia is 4 spurs. Here we can see this black color structure spurs which are used for gripping against the substratum. And these are the different insects in which the forelegs are modified. The first one is the raptorial, which is used for predatory and grasping, and the example is praying mantis. In this, the coxa is elongated and it is suited for capturing the prey, and it is no use in the locomotion, and here the coxa is long and mobile. And here we can see the femur is also large and grooved along the ventral surface here with spines, and the tibia is also having spines. The spiny tibia fits into the femoral groove when it snaps down the prey, and here we can see the tarsi are 5 segmented. And next, foreleg modification is seen in fossorial type. It is useful for digging and burrowing, and the example is mole cricket. In this, the femur is short, the femur is stout, and the tibia is short and bears are distally 2 or 3 pointed tinies. These are the tinies. The first 2 segments are also produced into stronger tinies. Here we can see. So these tibial and basitarsus tinies are useful in cutting the rootlets, and the most important thing in this is The tympanum is present in the fourth tibia. And next one is the clasping leg, and the example is male water beetle. In this we can see the tarsus ends with the adhesive pads which are useful in clasping the mate during the copulation. And next comes the hind leg modification. This we can see in the natatorial type of legs which are useful for swimming. This type of legs are present in the water bugs and water beetles. Here we can see the femur, tibia and tarsus. These are useful for swimming and they are flattened. The edges are provided with the flattened setae which serves as oars. And in these type of insects all the legs are modified. First one is the scansorial. It is useful for climbing or clinging, and the example is head louse. In this the legs are modified to cling to the hairs of the host. Here we can see the tibia bears a thumb-like process and one segmented tarsi is present. This tarsi ends with the claws, and these claws fit into the thumb-like process and serves as an efficient mechanism for hanging to the hairs of the host. This tarsus and pretarsus are useful for clinging to the hair follicles. And next one is the cursorial. This is seen in the cockroach. Cursorial is nothing but running. In this the femur is not swollen, and the cockroach moves nearly about 4.6 kilometers per hour. And next one is the sticking legs, that is housefly. In this we can see a cushion like or pad like pulvi are present, and it ends with the claws. In between the claws is a bristle like empodium. The pulvi has a dense tenant hairs. These secrete secretions which are helpful. These glandular hairs are also called as tenant hairs, and they secrete secretions which are helpful in clinging to the smooth surface and also to walk upside and down on the ceiling. And next one is the pharyngel legs which are present in the honeybees, and these pharyngel legs are useful to collect the food material. And in this all the legs of honeybees are modified. First the forelegs, they are also called as antenna cleaning type. These forelegs, three main parts are present: eye brush, antenna cleaner or strigilis, and the pollen brush. Here we can see this is the tibia, and the hairs on the tibia constitute eye brush, and these are useful for cleaning the compound eyes. And the next one is the antennal cleaner or strigilis, which consists of two parts: velum and the antennal comb. This velum is a movable clasp which is present at the distal end of the tibia, and this antennal comb is a semicircular notch lined with small spines inside. So here we can see this is the semicircular notch which is lined with the spines, and this is useful for cleaning the antenna. And next one is the pollen brush. And this pollen brush, the tarsus, usually the basic tarsus, this is the basic tarsus, the basal or first segment of the tarsus. The basic tarsus is modified for pollen brush, which usually collects pollen from the head and mouth parts. And middle legs, they are useful for wax picking type. In this majorly two parts are present: tibial spur and pollen brush. At the end of the tibia or at the apex of the tibia, it bears a spur which is useful to clean wings and spiracles, and it is also helpful to loosen the pellets of pollen from the pollen basket. And the pollen brush, here on the tarsus, basic tarsus, pollen brush is present to collect pollen from the middle part of the body. And the hind leg consists of mainly three regions: pollen basket, which is also known as corbicula or scopa, and the pollen packer, which is also called as pollen press and pollen comb. Here we can see the first one is the pollen basket. The outer surface of the hind tibia is with the hair, long hairs, and inside is a shallow cavity. It enables the honey bee to carry the loads of pollen propolis from the field to the hive. And next one is the pollen packer or press. Here it consists of pecten and auricle. These two parts constitute the pollen packer or press. Here the pecten is a row of fringed hairs which are present at the distal end of the tibia. These are the bristles which we can see. And the auricle is a small plate fringed with hairs at the basal end of the basitarsus. This is the auricle. This pollen packer is useful to load pollen in corbicula. And next one is the pollen comb. Here we can see in the basitarsus nearly 10 rows of stiff spines are present on the inner surface of the hind basitarsus. It is useful to collect pollen from middle legs and the posterior part of the body. And other type of leg modifications are the prolegs, which are also called as false legs or pseudo legs or abdominal legs. These are present in the caterpillars of Lepidoptera. Usually 2 to 5 pairs of prolegs are present in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 10th abdominal segments. The last abdominal segment legs or the 10th abdominal prolegs are called as anal prolegs or the claspers. But nearly 6 to 8 pairs of prolegs are present in the sawfly larva. This is very important. Here you can see the tip of the proleg, it is smooth and it is called as planta, and on top of the planta it is attached with the hook-like structures known as crotchets. These planta are useful for clinging to the smooth surface, and these crotchets, hook-like structures, are useful for clinging to the rough surfaces. These crotchets are absent in the sawfly larva. This is very important. In prolegs, sawfly, 2 bits are very important. 6 to 8 pairs of prolegs are present and crotchets are absent in sawfly. In exopterygons, only thoracic legs are present, which are also called as true legs. In endopterygotes, both thoracic legs and abdominal legs are present. And the other important points in this are, as we have said, 2 to 5 pairs are present, which are present in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th segments. These are the abdominal prolegs. In semi-loopers, which belongs to Noctuidae, the prolegs are present in the 5th, 6th and 10th segments. In loopers, which belongs to Geometridae, the abdominal prolegs are present in the 6th and 10th segments. Likewise, you can remember looper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th and L for last. Only 6th and last segments are present, abdominal prolegs are present in the loopers. The legs are degenerate in Coccidae and endoparasitic Hymenoptera. This is also important. And basket-like leg is present in the dragonfly or damselfly. Here the legs are just situated beneath the head and they are anterior in position. Here you can see the legs are spiny and closely packed. These are useful for seizing the prey during flight. And the captured insects are kept in the basket, and legs are not useful in locomotion. If you do like this video, please click on the like button and share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. My name is Shravani and I thank you so much for watching.